everyone. This is Sanjiv Goyal, and today we have very special guest. I have Dr. Raj Shah. So, Dr. Shah, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank you, Sanjeev.
So, Dr. Shah, simple question I have for you to start with. Please tell us a little bit about your initiative, how and what you are doing, and how you are able to mobilize so many people and so many units. My friends can't even get 10. You are able to do all this. What is so magical?
There is a group, relatively newly formed association called Federation of Indian Physician Associations, almost close to 1,500, 2,000 members who have united. And our first initiative was to get the oxygen concentrator that is needed. As you know, for combating COVID, once you get sick and you need to be in the hospital, the most important thing you need, in addition to the medication and the usual care, is high percentage of oxygen, which has to be forced into the lungs so that you can stay alive. You know, oxygen, if I may say in Hindi, it's called pranvayu. It means it's a gas of life. It is the air of life. Life cannot exist without oxygen for more than 5 minutes. So really speaking, that's what we are looking at it. So the first thing we need is the ventilator when they're that sick, so that we can push the air and going into the lung. And we need oxygen, very high concentration. Normal air has only 21%, while we are talking about 100% oxygen that needs to be pumped so that your body gets oxygen. And that being the first requirement. So as you can see, that as soon as the acute cases and the seriousness increases, admission in the hospital, and then need to go to intensive care unit, the first thing you need is the means to artificially provide breathing and oxygen.
Yep.
Along with the medication. So there is suddenly tremendous need for oxygen concentrators and pure oxygen cylinders. And we suddenly, the rapid transmission and rapid increase has put so much demand that we ran out of the supply of this essential ingredient. That's why we need this. And so the first need came, can we get the oxygen concentrators? And through the, really speaking, a great effort of Dr. Bayani, who worked with the suppliers, we had a large number, and the various organizations mobilized and donated money so that we can acquire them. Of course, right now, Sanjeev, you know, our major problem we have is how we can send it to India.
Because we are fighting with that. I mean, just ridiculous. I have units sitting, and we are fighting with logistics company, and it's just bizarre situation. And from China, I can't even find anybody to pick it. So it's just
So that is right. That's one thing we got. Second thing, how we got involved is, as you know, the IIT alumni. You are this is in Silicon Valley, and I guess I salute to all. You really have put our mother country on the map of the world with tremendous successes from A to Z in Silicon Valley, from Google and Microsoft and IBM to anything you look at it, it's all IITians.
So today, we are against war. We are in war with COVID. And this is the situation is almost like World War II. People are dying, literally dying on the streets. I don't want it to sugarcoat it. It's a reality. It's a fact. Everybody knows it. I don't want to scare everyone, but reality is reality. And the big challenge is what the whole world, I believe, have forgotten is this was a situation in New York and LA just a year ago. It's slightly different because the population of India is 5 times of US, and we have 1/6 of the land mass. The complexities are far greater. I say it is 1,000 to 10,000 more complex place to work with. And we are having shortage of vaccination. We are having shortage of oxygen beds. But the big question I have for you is, help us understand what is this double strain and what is this mutation?
Okay. Virus is a very simple cell structure with its nucleus and surrounding protoplasm in this. And then it gets a message from the center nucleus, which is made up of DNA or deoxyribonucleic acid. And it sends a message by messenger RNA. And there are proteins which are called spike proteins. So when you look, they give a picture, it looks like a ball with all the spikes coming out. And these proteins, which are antigens, when it goes in our system, our body tries to fight with it, forming antibodies. Now, since this virus is completely new, just like 100 years ago, when first time flu virus appeared, it is in the same group, but it's so new. So we do not have any existing antibodies to fight. So when it attacks us, we have no body defense to fight. So we very quickly succumb. It primarily damages lungs. Now, when you want to fight against the virus, you need antibodies, or you need your immune system to produce this substance. It produces against this particular one strain, but the viruses are smarter than human beings. And they then, as soon as human being develop antibodies against one particular type of protein, virus mutate or change its form, change its protein, and now you don't have that. So again, you have a second whammy. And that's why wherever virus appeared, like in India, South Africa, Brazil, UK, it appeared after the first time it hit in last January, February, it mutated and there was a second wave. So India fought the first wave and then it mutated, and now we have a second wave, which is a lot more virulent, a lot more damaging, and much faster spreading. And that's why we are seeing this second wave, and there is also a fear of the third wave coming. So this is an onslaught going on, and that's how we get affected.
As per my understanding and what Dr. Vivek Murthy, our Surgeon General, said, that minimum 70% people has to be vaccinated for herd immunity. Yes. Is that a correct statement?
Yes. And more you have, better your chances of protecting the population at a large. But again, going back to the issue of individual protection, individuals have to take care of themselves and protect. This virus spreads by in the air with small particles. Mask is a very, very important shield that prevents the virus from going in your body. I mean, if we are in the car, we want to have a seat belt. If you are somewhere, if you want to protect your body, you put your clothes and coat and hat. Why not mask when you are supposed to be in an environment which is going to expose you to a virus for which you don't have immunity?
Not just that, Dr. Shah, I'll give you my own example, and a lot of my friends, and fortunately I managed without getting COVID because I thought the reason I was able to do it, I was taking a lot of precautions. At the same time, I was taking the supplements recommended by my doctor, which is zinc, vitamin C and D, and I was physically reasonably active. So that's how I managed that. So the two questions I have for you. One is, yes, you and me can talk long-term some other time, is if you have a quick recommendation on the supplements people should take, if you can consider that, that'll be very helpful. So our audience here as well as in India can start at least doing some basic precautionary measures, because vaccine is not there. It's a challenge.
Let me tell you, the most reliable precaution that you can take, which is known and proven: mask, social distance, wash your hands. Now, beyond that, if you're sick, then obviously you're going to need the medication, monoclonal, remdesivir, or anything that you do. But beyond that, I know there has been anecdotal things. Initially, hydrochlorine came about. Right now, we are talking about doxycycline. We are talking about zinc. If you ask homeopathic, there own formula with zinc, arsenic, and this. None of them have really proven to be a factor. I mean, a lot of companies are raking a lot of profit by saying this things helps or and builds up your immunity, but nothing has been proven. It's all more of a psychological consolation that yes, I'm taking, and just when you say I feel good, you feel good, and so from a medical standpoint of view, there's nothing that I would say except mask, social distance, wash your hands, and take vaccine. There is no question that vaccine will help, but vaccine is not 100%. You can be vaccinated, you can still have reinfection, maybe by a variant strain, but still, and that's why precautions are absolutely necessary.
So then why states like California are lifting the mask requirement?
Well, because now you have enough people vaccinated. Second, it is an economic reason. When you are at a complete lockdown or significantly restricted, and you're not doing it, people are they're losing their jobs. They don't have money. Some of them are on street. I mean, you have to balance between both. So I think now that there is vaccine, now that people have some immunity, now that I think we can safely open. And that's why this is a changing recommendation. People, at least from the CDC and NIH, they feel comfortable that, okay, you can do that. But again, remember, they still tell you that if you're in an unknown environment, if you're in a large gathering, put the mask on, keep the social distancing, and even if you're vaccinated. So that's important.
So for our audience, you have listened to Dr. Raj Shah. Irrespective of what you hear in the news, you hear from different organizations and people, even if governments are lifting the mask requirement, recommendation is do not stop wearing mask in public places. Please take a lot of precaution, the precautions you were taking earlier to that you should not stop. Correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you very much, Dr. Shah.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to bring the message out and to people. And we need more platforms like this to let people get the message and follow through.